All right, welcome back. Welcome back. Appreciate y'all joining in here on a Tuesday. Yep. Tuesday, 8:30 Central Standard Time, 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. Great to be back. Hope y'all had a great weekend. Looking forward to another great topic, right? Hope this is all connecting for you all. Welcome in the building. Welcome in the building. I'm excited to be here. Hope you guys are excited to learn something new or, just to be motivated and inspired to continue on your journey, right? We're building discipline, we're building a community. We're starting with the mindset and then working towards taking the proper actions to yield results in order to achieve the success that we so desire, right? That's in regards to different areas. We all experience success on different levels. Once again, I have my dad, Frederick. He's joining us here on Tuesday. He was with us last week, Tuesday, and he's joining us again. We're going to talk about staying in rhythm, keep putting in work. So essentially, we take it in any direction that you guys want to go based on the questions that you ask, right? But essentially, it's about keeping that momentum, right? This topic is about keeping momentum, right? So we're going to be able to share different stories that we've experienced about, pitfalls that we might have had, but we kept moving forward. And then at some point, those pitfalls, they still come, but they don't hit us as much, right? It's just like, you experience obstacles and hurdles along the way, but it doesn't really deter you from progressing, right? At a pace that you so desire, right? It's about being in a rhythm. It's about, seeing an obstacle, learning from it, growing from it, adjusting, and then, keeping it moving, right? And then when you really get that momentum going, it's just like everything is flowing properly, everything is going smooth. Like it might be obstacles here and there, but you really don't see them. They really don't phase you. It's kind of like, it's like you taking a punch, but it just didn't hurt you that much. You just keep going, ducking and diving, whatever, whatever sport you can relate to, you just keep going. Whether if it's football, and even though on your straight path that you're headed towards the end zone, you might get hit and you might it might just kind of push you a little bit one way or the other. But the thing is, it didn't take you down, and you're able to get that first down. You're able to go even further and potentially score that touchdown. So that's what being in a rhythm is about. It's not that you're, untouchable at that, at any point. You can be touched, you can wonder about something, you can feel like somebody did you wrong along the way, but it just doesn't stop, your momentum. Like you're still headed in the right direction. Like, there's no straight path, but as long as you're, headed towards the right direction, that's really all you can ask for. I mean, this world is not perfect. We're not perfect, but, as long as we're in a good rhythm and we keep putting in that work, we're going to eventually, reach that goal. Right. So once again, we like to share stories to try to, relate to you all. We're open, honest, transparent. I got my dad on. He'll be able to, share some story, for y'all to get to know him better. Eventually he'll be able to show face so you guys can kind of see, y'all heard him talk, and you'd be like, well, y'all look just alike, that's how genes work. But it'd be good to, have him on. He's a little tied up right now, but eventually he'll be able to show face. And, once I see him show face, that's when I know he's ready to start talking. But until then, I'll be talking. And if we get into questions and answers, we'll keep that going as well. With me and my dad on, this is probably going to go the duration of an hour. I'm not ever forcing it, but I like to respect everyone's time and my time as well. I'm on business travel, so definitely got to get my sleep so I can show up bright-eyed, bushy tail. So yeah, but yeah, a quick story. Present time, I am in a really good rhythm, right? regarding working full time. Hello, hello, welcome in the building. Good evening, good evening. Regarding working full time and building a brand alongside of it, right? I remember talking to my dad about how, we might be doing a lot. People might ask like how I'm able to do everything that I'm doing. Of course, I know how to delegate, but another thing is whatever we're doing, it doesn't really require as much focus from us all at once, right? When I'm at job, I'm focused on my job 40 plus hours a week. When I'm building a brand, I spend, 2 to 5 hours a week. I'm laser focused, right? Especially I got something to, move the needle, speak to the team. I'm like laser focused, responding right away. You know what I'm saying? It's none of that like delayed is delayed. Like if when you're working with your passion and inspiration, you already know what you want. You already know how to move the needle. You know what I'm saying? So when I'm focused on, what I need to deliver to the team, they got my attention right away, right? Whether if it's a meeting or whatever, like they got me, for that amount of time. So everything that I'm doing doesn't require my attention right away. That's the main thing that I want to emphasize with, people like myself who is able to accomplish a lot in a short period of time. Okay, okay. My dad sent me a message. He's almost ready. So that's an art to be able to accomplish a lot in a short period of time. That might not be everyone's goal, you know what I'm saying? But here in the community, we're looking to make a difference, right? In our lives and the lives around us. So that means we got to hit the ground running, whatever we're doing. We got to get focused on what we're trying to accomplish so we can get where we need to be and then be able to bring others along the way, right? And be able to obtain a success that is at a level you're able to spread it amongst those who are aligned with you, right? Headed towards same direction you're going, so you can be stronger together, right? We reinforce our forces, we come together, and we're able to go further, right? It was a quote that says, "If you want to go fast, go alone, but if you want to go far, go together." Okay, so that's what we're all about. We're going to go together, right? So we can go further. That's what I'm all about. I've been talking about that since in college, right? Just a quick story. Like in college, I learned about how people can come together and go further, essentially, just like that. But even in the means of like real estate, when you come together, right? You got one property, you make it an investment property. You put a stranger in there after you done vetted the property. You put them in there. They're, after you done vetted them, you know that they can pay on time and they're going to add value to the property. And then you got a community of folks paying down the interest, right? So then you get that property paid off sooner than 30 years, sooner than 20 years, sooner than 10 years, potentially get it paid down in 5 years if you're working within the community. And what did you do? You saved interest. Now, what is that property doing? It's cash flowing, right? 2,000, 2,500 a month, right? You're able to take that 2,500 a month is $30,000. That's a down payment on another investment property. When you build a community, then you got the 2,500 going towards the next property, and you still got that income that was coming in from the community that was able to pay down the first property in 5 years. Now you're paying the next property down 4.5 years. And you keep doing that until you can pay off a property every year. And you can just go as far as you want. I thought about that in college. I thought about it amongst my family. I'm like, okay, I got 2 brothers and 2 sisters, right? And I'm like, at some point we'll all be grown. We'll all be over 21. We'll all be able to make over millions. Now, I'm an engineer by trade, my background, so I'm a high earner. So I'll be able to, cover, multiple minimum wage salaries, right? But the thing is just like when you got multiple people, right, that's trying to go towards a particular goal, it doesn't have to be family, but you got people that are on one accord, aligned, you can accomplish great things together. You can go further, right? I've been able to amass a couple properties myself, and I'm working on my third. But imagine if I had enough people to help, fund the real estate deals, then we're able to acquire multiple deals and, you know, why do I get involved with real estate? It's to buy my time back. When you buy your time back, you can do more. You have, you know, income to do more. You have time to do more, right? That's what it's all about. Maybe in this community, we'll be able to reach that level. You know, when I bring that up to my bros and my family and my friends, like that doesn't mean I'm not already on the track. You know what I'm saying? Don't, you know, you can't get it twisted. I'm already doing enough for myself and to cover my family, but I'm also like sharing the knowledge in order to take, you know, as many of those who wants to come along the way, right? And you guys aren't aware of everything I'm involved with, but just know I'm a focused man, and I like to spend my time where it's valued and where I can get the greatest return, right? All right. So you know, that is me being in a rhythm. The way I talk, what I'm going about doing, handling my business, that's being in a rhythm, you know, and it allows me to continue to think about new things to implement, right? New things to implement. And you know, that's when I know I'm in a good place. When I'm able to generate new ideas and I'm high energy and I'm very enthusiastic. And when my energy is down, I know to take a step back, take a vacation, right? Um, whatever I need to do, get some sleep, uh, go out in nature, talk to the right people. I do what I need to help keep that rhythm going, right? Hope you guys are catching this. This is a whole thing about me being in a good rhythm right now and what I do if I'm not in a good rhythm, how I recover and keep that rhythm going, right? Can you imagine a snowball, right? And as you roll it, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, right? That's about being in a good rhythm. You let it flow, right? It just keeps getting bigger and bigger. Like so is your life if you put in the effort for it to be that way, right? When you get to going at something, you don't stop. You don't let your pace slow down. And you know, if you get out your own way, then you know, sky's the limit. There's always going to be stuff that happens around you. But once you become in tune with yourself and you appreciate yourself and all the greatness and imperfections that yourself, you know, whether the Lord, you know, made it that way, whether life made it that way, or whatever, you accept the way that you are, you get over that hurdle or whatever, and then you say, hey, this is where I'm at. We all have different starting points. I started, you know, at a low, very low point, you know. It was the greatest, one of the greatest starts for a man like me that loves challenges and loves to start small and build something, you know. But for some people, it might have been their downfall. They might have never recovered from being born to a single teenage mother with multiple siblings and having to bounce around from state to state. Some people wouldn't, you know, may never recover. Some people have similar, you know, situations just like that I was born into, and they may not have obtained the same level of success that I have. And the reason why I've obtained the level of success that I have is because I don't give up. I don't give up. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing that's gonna stop me. What up? What up?
What's up? What's up? How you doing?
I'm wrapping it up my story. So I'm just saying there's nothing that's going to stop me. You know what I'm saying? Because there's no other life that I'd rather live. This is a lifestyle that I so chose to live. I choose to live this life, and it's the same thing for everybody else. So welcome in the building, my dad Frederick. My dad Frederick's in the building. Um, you know, we're talking about stay in rhythm, keep working, keep pushing, keep putting in the work. Right?
Right, right,
You know all about that, right?
right. Still putting in work right now. I thought I'd be finished by now, but I'm still putting in a little bit of work. But um, yeah, you have to keep pushing. Every time you think it's hard, you gotta fight it like it's getting harder, and you expect it, so it don't feel as hard. It's kind of like what you were talking about with the football. Sometimes when you take those hits, they don't feel as hard as they usually would be when you first start playing, and then as you get stronger and stronger, you can just knock them right off. It's like you expect it. If you get in the game expecting to have hurdles that you're gonna have to jump over, then it don't bother you as much. But when you get in the game and then you those unexpected hurdles when you start and you think they're not there, and then they'll throw you off track. But when you expect them, you know that they're easy to get. They're easy to jump over, or move around, or maneuver around.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. You got to anticipate it because we're not perfect. Life is not perfect. Life throws us curveballs. So when you like anticipate them, expect them, you know, you can keep chugging.
Keep chugging.
Remember the bus? Like they called the dude the bus was Stillers.
You're breaking up.
Oh, I'm breaking up. I've probably been breaking up the whole time. But now we're gonna open it up for questions. We're gonna open up for questions. So throw in the questions. At this point, we reached 15-minute mark. Ideally, that's when we want to start taking questions. So go ahead and shoot them, and me and my dad will, take a stab at them. Okay, we got our first question in. I'm gonna go ahead and show it. Let me let my dad know. Let me see. He's breaking up. I might have to bring him. On the audio again, or maybe he moving around too much. He might be moving around too much. Y'all bear with me. Okay, he's back. Let me add him to the stage. All right. Yeah, you had a good spot.
Heard you said something. You were saying it. You was bringing up a story.
Oh, I was talking about the Steelers. Remember that running back? He was number 32. They call him the bus.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody know about him. Bettis?
Jerome Bettis.
Yeah. His name was right on my head too. You just can't forget about somebody that people talk about like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I wasn't really like watching his every play, every move, like, but it's just like they attached a phrase to his name that is just like you can relate it. Like when you got to move out the way of the bus, you don't want to get hit by the bus. You know what I mean?
Two buses the same color as the Pittsburgh Steelers.
It all was connected, right? So it's just like we can't forget Jerome Bettis, even though he wasn't the greatest running back.
But he was a powerful one.
Yeah. And I would say I am biased to remembering names about running backs because I was a running back, so I'll probably have a leg up there. All right. What does being in a good rhythm feel like for you, mentally, emotionally, or physically? We did touch on that, but let's narrow in our focus on answering this one. If you want to go ahead and start.
Okay. The question again is what's trying to stay focused on. Say that again, Fred.
What does being in a good rhythm feel like for you, mentally, emotionally, or physically?
I'm back. I don't know why this signal is so bad right here. Give me that one more time, Frederick.
What does being in a good rhythm feel like for you, mentally, emotionally, or physically?
Being in a good rhythm, I mean, everything starts going right when you're in a good rhythm. It seems like everything starts to come easy. You'll be mentally. I mean, you're getting great sleep. Mentally, your everything is nothing cloudy in your mind. You wake up fresh in the morning. It's like you're ready to take on the world. And it's not that you are. It's like not that you have an ego with it or cocky with it, but it just feels good. Everything feels good. You can't wait to get in the conversation. You can't wait to strike a deal. You can't wait to get to a place where you get to get ready. It's like you're already ready. It's before you get ready, you're ready. That's what it feels like. It's just a whole lot of energy around you. A whole lot of positive.
That's my everyday. And I get how you started it off because, people that are like a low frequency, they might misunderstand. You know what I'm saying? Like every day I jump out of bed, I'm excited. Like I told, like when I came back off of vacation, I was like, I have my opportunity. I told them I love work, and they chuckled and whatnot. It was like, well, you on the right program because it's a lot of work. But it's just the thing is, it's like I enjoy talking to the people that I'm working with. I enjoy the work that I do. I love going to work. Now a lot of people say that it's a different frequency, you know what I'm saying? So then when I'm talking like that, it might come off a different way. And I don't really care because I've heard it, early on. Because the thing is, I didn't just become this way, you guys. I've been this way like all my life. You know what I'm
Some
saying?
people, but you're really not. You just great space and a great move. So it's not cockiness. It's just that I'm feeling it. I don't think I could do anything wrong. I got this place, and I'm in this place where everything's gonna go right. Everything that looks wrong to someone else looks amazing to me. That's when I know I'm in stride.
Exactly. I mean, that's what sums it up. You know what I'm saying? And you can get so used to it, just like it's like normal. You know what I'm saying? It's like you don't expect things to just like go the wrong way for too long. It's like any trend, right? Something that goes down eventually is gonna come up. Something that's going up eventually is gonna come down. You just like that's just normal part of life. And we welcome the downturn. You know what I'm saying? Because then that's our opportunity to grow. You know what I'm saying?
I was just gonna say that when everybody's starting to panic and everything looks like it's going wrong, it's like, man, I start thriving in it. I'm enjoying it because everybody else panic is a success that I will get in because there'll be open opportunities there. But it's not that I want them to be in a panic mode. It's just that they are in a panic mode, but I see it as opportunity.
Yeah, to be able to have the calm and the chaos and like to really like grow in it as well is what more could you ask for? Here's another question. Are there specific habits or routines that help you notice when you're not in sync? Oh yeah, big time. Big time. Noticing you're not in sync. When something happens to me, like I mentioned you guys, I've been in like 4 accidents. I'm not a clumsy person. Most of my accidents have not been my fault. 3 out of 4 were not my fault. But I still wonder when something happens to me because I'm not a clumsy person, what do I need to get from this situation? Now that's pretty extreme when it didn't, it wasn't my fault. 3 out of 4 wasn't my fault, right? So how can I learn from something that I had no control over? But it's part of it, right? So let me bring it down to something more relatable. If I'm waking up late, yes. If I'm waking up late, I love work so much that, and I'm the type of person that on time is late and being early is on time. That's the type of person I am. So if unconsciously I'm basically doing something that I that's not my standard, I know something I need to reflect. Like if I'm waking up late, right? I do like to take my time. But even when taking my time, I'm making time. I'm not a late person. So that's a good example of, when things are not really in sync, it's like you're not really showing up as your best. And your best is like what's normal. If you're not, showing up in your normal way of like greeting people like they're the president, you know what I'm saying? Like I respond very well to people, like, because it's just showing like my energy towards where I'm at in the environment. I love to be here. So every conversation is like basically saying that. I'm like, hey, how you doing? I'm basically saying, hey, I enjoy being here, and I enjoy seeing you. I enjoy you seeing me, you know what I'm saying? And if I'm not doing that, if I'm in a rush, not trying to talk to nobody, I might be frustrated. And that's kind of me out of sync. Being frustrated is not good. I learned that. Me being frustrated is not good. I know, other people being frustrated is not good either. But for me, like every day is like a happy day, And so every day is like every day is a happy day. I'm a happy employee. I'm a happy person.
Right.
Go ahead.
And I'm not smiling. It's like someone would say, "Well, why are you not smiling?" Oh, I notice that I'm not smiling. I notice that I'm not in a good mood. That's when I know that I'm not in sync. Something is going wrong. I don't even know what it is, but I know something. I'm not myself. When you notice that you're not yourself, you're not in sync. When you notice that it's like something make you angry that you shouldn't. It's like, man, I've done that 1,000 times, and now what's this making me angry for? It's not really that big of a deal. I know I'm not in sync with myself. I know that something's going wrong, and it's right around the corner. It feels like it's right behind me, and it's going to catch me. But it's only because I'm not in sync, because I'd be so much further ahead that I could feel it coming, but it's not going to affect me. But when I feel it, like right on me, and then it start to affect my day-to-day operations and my day-to-day my mood swings and stuff like that, I know that I'm not in sync. Something is going wrong, and I have to figure it out, because then I get back in sync.
For sure. And for me, on that point, I thought I was gonna go to the next question, but that last part that you said brings up, for me, it's urgent to get things back smooth. It ain't no playing around when something just like happened. For me, it's like, oh no, I got to get it back right, because that's my normal. For things to go smooth, for me to be happy, that's normal. So if something done bother me, I'm like, let's get it, let's resolve it, let's fix it. You know. All right, next question. How can we recognize when we're in a healthy, productive rhythm? You was in a good place, and now that you done moved, okay, you in the car? All right.
Get out.
All right, cool. How can we recognize when we're in a healthy, productive rhythm? This is along the lines of what we just answered. You know, I know for me, it's
I can
just
still
like,
see you.
all right, perfect. I know for me, it's just like being aware of what normal is. For me, you know, I'm happy, I'm high energy, I'm excited about doing work. I pretty much say yes to everything, right? Anything that's aligned to what I'm doing. Um, you know, it's just like, hey, let's get it. I'm about moving the needle. I'm about making change. I'm about growth. And anything that's aligned with that, I'm like, yes, let's do it. Let's do it. So that's how I know I'm in a healthy and productive rhythm, because I enjoy work. There's nothing that I turn down. I enjoy increasing responsibility. So if you're pushing away work, if you're anything like me and you're pushing away work or trying to find the easy way out, short route, feel exhausted and stuff, something, you're out of sync, you're not in rhythm. What would you want to say to that?
Um, I caught the but end of it. I just connected my phone to my Wi-Fi on my phone, so I shouldn't break up anymore. So
Perfect. Let's go to the next question. You
okay.
good? How do you personally tell the difference between being productive versus just being busy? How do you personally tell the difference between being productive versus just being busy? That's a good one. You got it?
Well, if you yeah, I can start with that one. If you're being productive, you're gonna see results. If you're being busy, you're gonna just sweat. So if you're productive, results are gonna happen often. You're gonna notice them often. It's gonna be success around you all the time. You're gonna see fruits of your labor. It's just gonna be you're gonna see a lot of traffic. Then you're productive. But when you start to see that you're just moving around, but you don't see no results. Now sometimes results come later. So don't get it twisted, because you could be doing a lot and you don't see any results right away, but they're coming. So you have to know the two. Like when you're busy, but it's supposed to be a quick return, and then you don't see it. That's when you'll know you're just being busy. But if you know that it's a year or two or three down the road, then you could be busy, and the results gonna come in a year, two or three down the road, because of the investment that you made. That don't mean that you're not doing the right thing, you're not being productive. It means that you're not going to see the results, but it's going to be solid. It's down the road. You have to know the difference.
And for me, I kind of got like a little fire. I'm gonna take it easy, but within this community, we're not like really just busybodies, right? We're productive, and I know that's not everybody, probably not right now. But the thing is, I do have a problem with busy people spinning their wheels. I can't. That's the fire that I have. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's the difference between a leader and a worker. You know, a person that's busy, they just need more direction and point them in the right direction. But they can never be a leader. They can never be a boss. They can never be someone that is a director to move the needle, because they just know how to be busy and look busy and, you know, do as they're told. They're not the ones that's taking initiative to say, hey, this is what we need to be doing next. They don't have a timer in their mind that's like, hey, this is taking too long. Like, we need to escalate it, get, you know, raise our hand. We need help. You know what I'm saying? And they're not just busy people are just talking, You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm the type of person that like really wants an answer to like where are we gonna go. Like, sometimes they can come across as like impatient. Um, but you know, people already can like feel me and see me. And even though I have that impatience, it's like that might be the negative point perspective, but the positive perspective is, you know, he's impatient and urgent. He has a level of urgency. And that's, you know what I'm saying, that balances things out, because ultimately people that's, you know, making the big dollars and then, you know, wanting to make more money, they're going to pay people to get things done at, you know, at a pretty good pace. They're not looking for people that's going to be busy, just acting like they're working but adding no value. They're looking for people that's going to be productive, move the needle, right? And, you know, it's going to yield the results, you know, that's going to help people maintain long-term success. And, you know, that's the people that I'm looking for on my team and whatnot. And anything else to add?
No, didn't have anything else to add.
Okay.
Okay.
Next question is, have you ever pushed yourself too far thinking it was consistency when it was actually burnout in disguise? You can take that one.
I'm finna, Frederick. I'm gonna walk inside because I can't hardly hear what you just said, the last one, but I'm clearly on there, but I just don't hear what you're saying.
Okay. Okay. All right. No problem. I'll take it while you transition. All right. So have you ever pushed yourself too far thinking it was consistency? Okay. We talked about this, like how I'm in tune with my body and how I can tell, like, I might sneeze. And when I sneeze, I might like feel it like here in my heart. Like it's been a couple times that I felt that, and I took my time. I took a break, I took a vacation, I got some sleep, I drank some water, stuff like that. But you know, you guys, like you've known that I've been here for about a month. I've been working for 4 months, and I've taken those sick days. Like, I don't even say the word sick. And I tell everybody I'm always doing well. I'm doing well. So, you know, basically for this entire year, I'm not gonna like be in a position where I'm down for the count. You know what I'm saying? And reason why is because I don't get it twisted between consistency and burnout. I know I'm in tune with my body, so I know when to take a break. You know what I'm saying? I'm allotted vacation for a reason. You know what I'm saying? I'm a human. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a robot, so I gotta know when the machine, the body, the mind, the spirit, the soul needs a break, and I just do that. You know what I'm saying? And it can just be that easy. Like, we don't have to complicate it. I know this is a question, and there's no harm by this question, but you know, within this community, there's no excuses. You take the time that you need. You take a break. You know what I'm saying? You cut out any waste. You know what I'm saying? Like we got to work ourselves off of waste, right? I heard somebody. This is going to probably rub somebody the wrong way, but I remember on my first video, I said, you know, you might hear something different. You might be triggered in a certain way. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm very direct, blunt, and straightforward. You know what I'm saying? I've been able to bust a bubble or two. You know what I'm saying? I'm known to bust a bubble or two. But I'm gonna say this. Somebody said, I didn't even say it. Somebody said, a poor person or a broke person should not be watching TV.
I believe that.
I didn't even say it. I didn't say that.
Yeah, but I think that if you're not in a position where you're making enough money to take care of yourself over time and your family's money over time, and you're taking a lot of time watching television or enjoying games and stuff like that. It's one of the motivational speakers that I listened to too said the same thing. People think things are funny, and I said, "What? I feel the same way." And he's like-minded with me, and kind of like-minded with you. With some of the things that what he was saying is like he was taking the words right out of my mouth. So I know that he thinks like the way we think. But just because we think that way, it may not work for someone else, you know. And you can't knock them because you're on two different paths of life. When you think that you're going somewhere, and everybody's saying, okay, everybody around is saying, well, let's just buy this, just stop at gas station and just buy stuff at the gas station, right? And I was like, well, why you won't go to the grocery store? You stopping at every other gas station. I said I could just pull into a Walmart or something like that. You could buy a bunch of them, and then you won't have to stop anymore. You won't waste any much time. But the convenience store, they can't stop. They can't stop passing them without buying something out of them. Except I know if you have to get gas, but you don't have to buy a $3 soda, you know?
Right. Yeah, I remember we talked about something. It's like I think we called it like a program or something like that. You
Right.
know, in the advertisements, like they just sucked into it. But yeah, we're gonna go to the next question.
Okay.
But with consistency, you can't get it twisted. You know, consistency is leading towards your results. So you're gonna like want to stay consistent. So to prevent burnout, you're gonna take the breaks that you needed. Like you gotta factor taking time as part of the process. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't think about it being like a gap. Think about it being like you have to do this in order to do that. You had to take a 15-minute break in order to put your best work out there. Like you've been done continue on for 2 hours staring at the screen when you could have stepped away, go use the bathroom, go outside, come back, and knock out that 30 minutes worth of work.
More productive.
More productive.
And now we're not another thing. I don't want to feel like I don't want anybody to take it the wrong way when we talk about the candy bar, the soda, or things that you paying a lot. It's not there, but those things. It's not that we're saying that's something bad. We're just saying that those things compounded over the course of a year, then over the course of 5 years, they equal up to be something that could be very productive for you. It will buy you something that can make you some money and bring you money back. And it's just that an habit. Like I see some people that smokes a lot of cigarettes. They work for me, and I work with me. I like to say people work with me, but I say, man, you would be surprised of how much money you would save if after lunch you don't take that smoke. Just don't do it because it's going to create another pattern. So if you already unhappy with yourself, right? If you are, and you think that you should be a much further, you're gonna have to change something. You just automatic. You're gonna have to change something. If you're not satisfied with where you're at, you gotta change something. And it could be something as small as not taking a smoke, something as small as not buying a drink out of the store when you stop to get gas. It could be something about not going, like if you're going somewhere and you take two or three places and then you finally get where you're at, and just taking a beeline, getting straight there. Those little things, and then they're gonna compound to be something bigger, and then they're gonna compound to be something bigger. It's gonna keep changing, and then after a while, you're gonna be like, man, well, I'm so laser focused. That's what they call it, laser focus. You ever use that terminology, Fred?
I use it all the time.
All the time. When you're laser focused, I mean, it's just things gonna look just different for you. People gonna say something different about you, but it's gonna be something that gets you on track if you want to be successful. And then you got to think about, what do you call success? Some people's success and other people's success can be different. Some people success is not, being a high earner. It could be something else. I'm not gonna say anything that it could be because it's whatever it is to you. Um,
That's true.
Focus on being high earners. That's all that, and family, but high earners too. Mm.
That's right. Next question. When was the last time you felt proud of how you showed up without overextending yourself?
Without overextending yourself. Well, most of the time lately, I've been overextending myself on purpose, and then now I'm trying to back off of overextending myself. But when I already know that um, it's going to take a lot for certain things that I'm doing, I already know it. So it's kind of like Jerome Bettis, what we were just talking about. So I'm prepared to be overextended. I'm already know. I'm like, I'm working late hours. I'm getting up early. I'm working late hours. I'm getting up early. It feels good. I feel like I'm getting a lot more exercise, but it's not exercise. It's like work exercise. But I know that I'm going to be tired, and when I feel like I'm tired, I'm drained and stuff like that. I can feel it. when that happens, I know that I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. It's at this time because I know that I need to push myself more than I've ever pushed myself before. So I know that. So when I don't overextend myself now, I feel like I didn't get enough out of the day because I'm expecting to be very productive. So
Mm.
it's off
Yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah. For me, I don't like overextending myself because um if I overextend myself, then if something doesn't work out the way I want it to, then I get disappointed, right? So I always keep everything within a certain range, right? Because I've been there before where I made bad investments, you know, and I never like what happens after. Like when we make an investment, everybody wants something good to happen, right? Um, but we have to think about, and I'm starting to trade more, and I heard somebody say it because I'm studying like psychology of trading. Of course, psychology of trading is not going to yield you good results. It just helps you minimize risk. So a lot of people think about the upside of when they overextend, they do more and do more. But I'm starting to think about the downside of it, and am I happy with that result? Right? What could happen? And when I overextend myself, whether if it's given to people, if I'm giving more than I'm able to do, when people do something for somebody, it's like they gave them their last or something like that. I've done that before, but I do it for without expecting anything back whenever I do something like that. But if I'm overextending myself to get a return, I'm expecting something back. That's what return is all about, right? So I intentionally, things that I can't control of it coming back, I intentionally not overextend myself. I intentionally hold back because I'm not happy with. I already know I'm going to be disappointed because I have high standards for myself, high expectations. I already know if it doesn't work out the way I intended, I'm going to be disappointed, and
Well,
I'm going to put it on myself. Go ahead.
that sense where you're at that point, it's a mental position. You have to be sharp. So you can't overextend yourself because you got the decision that you make is going to be it's a mind decision. Um, so I understand you don't want to ever be overextended when it's a mental situation because if you overthink something, you second guess something, and then you make a decision that you wouldn't have made based upon cloudiness in the mind.
Mhm.
My overextension at this time is physical. It's like I'm physically um, putting in more hours.
Yeah.
Someone else is actually doing what I need to have done, but I'm looking at it. I'm instead of leaving the site, I'm staying on the site to make sure that they don't make any mistakes, or I have to come back, and then they won't come back. Like if you have somebody that's working and they're doing plumbing, because there's a lot of
Yeah.
plumbing stuff like that. So I'm waking up in the morning knowing that I got to be there for the duration of the day.
Yeah. You're overextending to compensate for somebody else.
That's what versus what you're doing now. If I was doing what you're doing at this time, what you're doing, you can't. It don't work the same because you're dependent on you. Your decision at the time and what so you have to have all total focus, and it's a window. You can't just say, "Oh, well, I'm gonna stay in here for 4 hours or 8 hours." If you're gonna do it in a 2 hour window or you're gonna do it in an hour window, you got to be sharp for that 1 hour. So, or you got to be sharp for that 2 hour window.
Mhm.
That's the
Yeah.
difference.
Yeah. All right, let's see. The next one, it says, "What's one non-negotiable habit or ritual that protects your focus during the day?" Okay, a habit or ritual that we're doing to protect our focus.
Hmm.
All right.
I know where I need to start, but
Okay.
where I need to start, it's kind of like what you were saying earlier. You have to protect your energy and you have to protect your time. You can't just have conversations with people that's not going anywhere. you know. So if because there some if believe it or not, no matter what you're doing, when you get busy and you get ready to get sharp, somebody gonna have, it's gonna be a phone call, it's gonna be a conversation that somebody walk up on you, it's gonna be somebody, it don't matter if it's somebody that's coming today for $2 or $3, $5. It could be somebody just want to sell donuts or something like that. It gonna be something that's gonna distract you. And the distractions come in any shape, sign, form, or it just don't just be one way. And it comes when you're trying to be at your laser focused time, and then when you see it, you gotta say, "Oh, there you go, right there," And when you see it, and and you identify it right away, then you see it when it's coming again. But if you don't catch it right away, guess what? It gets by you, then boom, it's on you. Then next thing you know, another one come by. Next thing you know, you see a car accident or something like what you were just talking about. It could be anything, and then you're like, damn, how you don't realize how you got there, but it was something that happened way before that you just didn't catch. And
Yeah.
what about you?
Yeah. Now I heard a pastor say things happen in the spiritual before the physical.
Yeah.
You just gotta stay awake, stay woke. You gotta see, not just with your physical eyes. You gotta see. You gotta be in tune with what's going on around you. What does it say? Something was meets the eye or something like that. I don't know if that was like some Transformers or something. Something beyond what meets the eye. I don't know. You have to look that one up. Somebody chat GPT that. If you come up, if you get a surprise if you can send whatever phrase I was trying to come up with. If you can send it, you get I'm gonna send you $10 through PayPal, whatever that is. Something what meets the eye. It's beyond what meets the eye. It's something like that. If you can complete that phrase precisely the way I'm thinking about it in my head, it's just not coming out of my mouth, I'll send you $10. All right. See, you only can get these opportunities if you're showing up live.
Right. So what do you think? What do you think is worth?
What do you think is worth prioritizing each day to stay consistent without hitting burnout? Is breaking up. Okay. All right. These questions about burnout.
Okay.
I remember my manager was talking about, we don't want you to burn out. No concern about burning out. I take my breaks. You ain't got to worry about it. I will make sure I don't burn out. Okay.
Yeah, it's hard to burn out for, you got to answer it in a way that someone can see how we get to the point where we don't have to burn out, because it just didn't happen. So what was things you did to prevent yourself from burning out?
You have to be aligned. You only get burnt out if you're not aligned with what you're doing. Then you create all these excuses, and then mentally you burn yourself out because you're kind of thinking you're above a certain thing, or you don't think something's going your way. So you kind of talk yourself into burning out even more. Your body is built for extensive pain, and nobody wants to feel pain, but our bodies are strong, our mind is strong. And just to think about what our ancestors did, they're still human beings. We're supposed to be the enhanced human beings, you know what I'm saying? So think about what people were able to accomplish in the past. Mm-hmm. And so know that your body is still capable of doing that as well. And you can always work yourself, build muscles. You already know you can work out. You already know you can read a book. You already know you can grow yourself. So the fact that you end up burning out at this point, when we got all this information about how to prevent burnout, it's just, for me, it's just that word burnout is going to get old. It's going to get old quick. It's already old for me. So, what do you think is worth prioritizing each day to stay consistent without? So stay consistent. You should already be consistent. Okay. I don't think consistent should be a part of this. You know what I'm saying? Consistency is whatever you're doing, keep doing it. And, we already talked about the feedback loop, get feedback, adjust, don't just keep doing something and is not really like 90+%. Like, don't do something that's 70% just to be doing it. Like, ask for feedback to make sure you're doing it in the best way possible. So, consistency is just, doing something, but, make sure it's going to be you're going to yield a good result. Want to make sure that yield is high. But the burnout part is you're doing something, you can keep going as long as you want. Everybody's human. So everybody knows that we're going to have to get some sleep. We're going to have to eat. And what else? Sleep, eat, drink water. Like, people gonna give you time to do that, right? So burnout only really happens when you feel like this environment is not really good for you anymore. Go ahead.
Right. When you're not comfortable and you're not in the right place, you're gonna drag. Like, let's say, for instance, if you're dead tired. Like right now, you're dead tired, and you're uncomfortable. You haven't eaten, and I mean, you're in your worst position. You even could be a little sick. Guarantee you, if somebody say, "Well, if you could muster up enough energy just to do this one task, you can make $1 million." Boom.
Boom.
You got everything you need at that time. You just like, dog, I can just. Where did that energy come from? Where did it come from? You was already dead tired. You already hadn't eaten. You already was hungry. You wasn't thirsty. And then if you just had to get to the door and within 2 minutes, and it takes you 2 minutes to get there at your best, I guarantee you'll make it in 2 minutes again.
I'm telling you, that word burnout is burning me up, because it's not sexy in front of your manager. You want your manager to say it. We don't want you to burn out. I'm not talking about, I'm getting burned out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? This is a good space, to like, because we're transparent, we're honest, we're direct, and we trying to like help the community grow. So, we accept all questions. No questions are dumb questions. And it's kind of hard to ask dumb questions these days with all the technology that we have. But I'm telling you, this word burnout is not sexy.
Mm-hmm. Well, now
Go ahead.
From their point of view, I'm looking at it as though that we at the next level of things. So you have to think about it like, if you want to prevent yourself from burning out, just go to bed thinking about being able to get up on time and being productive. You have to be thinking about it, and then you won't get burned out. But if you go to bed thinking that I don't really want to go here, I don't really want to be there, you're frustrated, then you're gonna just be burned out. You don't, even though the task could be hard or easy, if you don't want to be there, you're not happy where you're going. You don't want the results that's going to happen, no matter if you succeed or not. The results, you're not going to be happy with them. So then you're going to burn out. It's just going to feel like you burned out. Even if you're not burned out, you're just going to feel like you burned out because you're not in the space you want to be.
That word burnout, if it comes to your mind, just know it's a trigger to know that you're about to start creating excuses and stuff. And when the excuses is like one of the last things where you're just not doing what you want to do. Things are not going the way that you want it to go. You're disappointed, and you might be overstepping. You might be overstepping, meaning like you might be taking on too much, and nobody asked you to do that or something like that. You might want to realign yourself with your manager and ask, hey, what are my roles and responsibilities? And then just talk about everything that you're doing, and then get his or her approval. Like, yes, I want you working on that. Yes, I want you working on this. You want to prioritize everything. And if you're your own boss, just do what you enjoy first and let everything else, fall by the wayside. Now, if you're talking about what pays the bills, you want to continue to do, what's doing that, making your lifestyle, right? But you eventually want to start spending time doing something else that's going to allow you to not only cover your lifestyle, but enjoy it as well. Like, I'm like one of the 20%. I remember early on, they said 80% of people don't enjoy what they do. I said, I'm going to be one of the 20%. Enjoy what I do.
Yeah.
All right, next question. What boundaries help you stay committed to your goals and your well-being. You can take it.
I set boundaries. It leads back to some of the things we already covered. If I know that I want to do something, and something's going to take me away from what I'm trying to do, and I know that it is there, so I set up boundaries. It's like it depends on what task I'm doing at the time, but I just set up boundaries to keep myself on track. If I don't want to speed, and because I don't speed, I leave early. You know, so if so that prevents me from being late, or prevent me from being in a rush. And so I just, if I'm trying to do, I mean, what's something I would do, Fred? And then I just, I put a boundary there. What's something I would do? Um, if I know I feel sick in the morning, or I won't, and I know that if I'm drinking, then and I don't like to drink, but if I drink something and I know it's gonna make me sick, I just won't drink. I won't put myself in position. I won't hang with certain people that always gonna ask me, hey man, take a shot, take a shot, take a shot. So then I stop. I set that a boundary. I said, well, I won't be around that person, but for a shorter period of time, I go ahead and I'm just setting boundaries every day, all the time. I'm constantly setting boundaries. So it depends on what you're trying to do, what you're trying, who you're doing it with, or what are you doing. Like right now, I got a business proposition that I'm doing with some guys, and I know that they want to go a certain way, and I want to stay another way. So I know that I got to start setting up boundaries. I don't know where they are yet. I don't know what the boundaries need to be because I haven't got so involved yet. But I know I'm gonna have to set up some boundaries because they're gonna come at me. I know they're coming, so I'm already thinking about setting up boundaries for that.
Yeah, no. I would say I'm working towards setting boundaries. Like I would say, like for me, I just know, like I'm self-aware of myself, right? So I probably have these boundaries that I'm not really aware of. Like I definitely don't. I just say I don't do it. You know what I'm saying? I just don't do it. But it is a boundary for me not to be around people that smoke, for sure. I don't smoke, right? Um, you know, I don't want to hang around people that smoke, but it's kind of like it's just that's is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I think a boundary is probably something that I can put up and then put down. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just holding up a boundary. You see what I'm saying? But for the right person, I might drop it down. But with hanging out with people that smoke, no matter who you are, I don't care if you're the president. I'm just really not going to be around that long. You know what I'm saying? Um, so what boundaries help you stay committed? I really see. I don't have to put up any boundaries to stay committed. You see what I'm saying? I'm just committed. You know what I'm saying? Because if I have a boundary, you know, like I said, I might drop it down for a certain point in time or somebody else. So then when I drop the boundary down, then I'm not committed. I'm always committed, to my goals and my well-being. That's first and foremost. You know what I'm saying? I'm always going to be working towards my goals. I'm always going to be protecting myself, my well-being. In relationships, what's most important to me, peace, pleasure, and acknowledgement, right? And when I have relationships that don't go to that extent, it's going to be a mutual beneficial relationship. I'm not going to be, in relationships where it's one-sided. I know I'm a giver, um, that's what people know about me. I'm a generous person. And most of the time I outgive anybody that I know, you know what I'm saying? Or I aspire to outgive anybody that I know. So, that's just like default. I'm a giver. And so if I feel like in the relationship, a mutual beneficial relationship, if I'm not like receiving, I don't have to receive the same thing. If it's financial, like if I'm helping someone, they need that help. I'm not going to expect them to help me out financially. They could be helping me out towards my goals. They could be helping me build a brand. They could be helping me. I'm one of my top love languages is acts of service. So the reason why that's one of my top ones, because I can do everything by myself. I can do most things by myself. Besides, I have a baby, right? So since I can do, most things by myself, if somebody helped me with something, I'm very appreciative. I have a high level of gratitude for somebody that's going to help make my life easier, right? So I know what I want. I'm self-aware of what I want, right? So the boundaries things is really don't exist, because it's just like, I'm not going to do what I don't enjoy. I'm not going to it's a word for it. But I'm not going to just like give in. I'm not going to like be pressured to do something that I don't enjoy. I don't have to put up the boundaries, because I'm just self-aware about what I like and what I don't like. And that's pretty much what I'm up to. If I'm doing it, I like it. If I'm not doing it, it means I don't like it. I'm doing everything I want to do. So I'm just doing that. And so since I'm doing that, I'm committed. I'm working towards my goals, and I'm protecting my well-being. The boundaries really aren't necessary for me. But it's clear to outline boundaries when you're getting to know somebody. Here's my boundaries. I don't do this, I do that. It's just like, okay, we got to use these words for it to click for somebody. Okay, I'll use them.
Most of the time when you're with someone, are you involved with partners or in business, you kind of want to be with people that's going to be able to read you. You read them, and you know when they're uncomfortable, so you kind of won't put them in a position, and then you feel like they're not putting you in a position. Then you know it's a great relationship, because they could feel what bothers you and what don't bother you, and then you start to self adjust without even saying it. That's kind of when you know you're in the right spot too. When you know you're clicking on all cylinders. People reading you, you're reading them, and you're able to understand each other without actually saying it. Just a look, and then they understand you. It's like reading the minds. It's psychic.
Yeah, it is. It is intuition, and and having like a high level of self-awareness. Like, you carry a certain energy, and they can feel when the energy's off.
Yeah.
All right. I asked for one more question, but we might have burnt them out. Okay, here go one more question. All right. It says, how do you typically recover when focus feels scattered or drained? How do you typically recover when your focus feels scattered or drained? Okay, good question. We'll start off by saying that. Good question. I know I've been beating up these questions.
You just want to get around the right people. You want to get around the right situation. You want to, if you're around people that you feel scattered, and then you get around someone else, and then you start to feel in place, then you want to be around, you want to start trying to find more people that make you feel comfortable. You may not even be doing a deal. You start to feel scattered and drained and stuff like that. Then you start saying, well, I need to get around a different space. I might need to get by myself. Then you find that space, or you find that person or those people that make you feel like you're back to yourself, and then they give you the energy that you need to start to refocus or recalculate what you're doing. You could be overextending yourself. Once you start to see that, you say, okay, I need to get back to comfortable. That's kind of where I'm at now. I'm trying to get home back in, So then when you do that, you'll feel less scattered, you'll feel less drained, you'll feel more energetic by just knowing what's making you uncomfortable to get back around what makes you comfortable.
I totally agree. Sometimes you got to get away. And when you do get away, it's okay to turn off the radio. As I mentioned several times, a lot of times I drive with the radio off so I can be with myself, with my mind, make sure I reset it. You guys, I really appreciate y'all joining in. You know what I'm saying? We got my dad, Frederick. He joined in. It was a lot of good feedback about him joining in last time. He said we should do it again, so we did it again. We're accepting the feedback, you guys, and we're growing. It's all about growth here in the community. It's a LaFred effect, where we have real talk, we go deep, and we build forward. Until next time, stay focused, stay grounded, and above all, stay real. Peace.
Peace.